Today I am quite excited to do this review because I have been very curious about this line. I got the first figure in this wave the other day in a box from Japan, and I am quite excited because this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. We're going to be diving into Bandai Namco's brand new action figure line called Godziburst, and the first figure we are starting off with is Gattling Gigan. So before anything, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Frank for hooking this up for me. He's out in Japan, so he managed to score one of these bad boys and send it along with a big goodie bag from Godzilla Day, along with my buddy Helmy for helping out with some of that stuff. You can watch that unboxing on our Facebook channel right now. Channel, page, whatever. But that's not why you're here. You're here to take a look at Bandai's latest undertaking of Godzilla figures. So this right here is 3 3/4 inch, and they are doing a whole slew of these things. So wave 1 is currently out in Japan. So there's Hedorah, Mechagodzilla. There is another Gigan. There is Mothra that comes with a Kamacuras and a Chakras and an adult Mothra. So what the heck is this? Well, this is essentially a old school G.I. Joe figure from the 80s. If you're old like me, these are the size of the toys we would get back in the day. They were inexpensive. They were playable. G.I. Joe was very articulated for what they were. And yeah, they fit right in the palm of your hand, if you will. So Bandai going this route is a wild concept to me because this hits a lot of nostalgia, buttons for me. But also, I'm glad they're taking some risks. And the biggest risk is they're doing something very different than what they have done in the past. The movie monster series, up until recently, with Bagan and Super Godzilla, have been mostly stuff that's been produced for the films, and maybe occasionally the animes and whatnot. This is something I've been asking for decades. I want a little customization. I want a little fun with the characters. I want, some variety, if you will. And when they announced this first wave with the line, they revealed this guy, which is Gattling Gigan. It is the Final Wars Gigan, but instead of those claw arms, he's got Gatling guns for arms, and he's got this sweet green paint job. So we're going to open him up. We're going to go through the nitty-gritty of this because I am, like I said, beyond curious as a cat about this line and what the potential of it has to offer. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the packaging, this comes on an old school card with a plastic bubble. As you can see, the Gigan in question, trying to get some of that glare out of there. So this is, these are sold everywhere, I found out, in Japan. They're apparently all over the place. As you can see here, it's directly from Japan. Everything's in Japanese, but there you go. You get that. There's this QR code if you want to check out. I think that just takes you to the Godziburst website, which is cool. They got little videos that they animate with these things on there. But the packaging's awesome. This is very old school marketing packaging. The colors are bright. It is clearly a peg, not a peg warmer, because they're peg warmers, they'd just be sitting there. So very, very cool. It's not, as you can see, it's really not that big. It maybe stands about 5 inches, but it's nice. I expect in like 20 years, there's gonna be collectors that have these things, and man, I can already tell these things are gonna yellow like nothing. And they're gonna yellow like someone's teeth who never brushes. But yes, so that is packaging. It's nice and tight in there. So let's move on and get this guy open. So my only quip, actually, this looks like we don't have to destroy the packaging. I just noticed this down here. There is this tab. So if this is what I think it is, you might be able to save the packaging. Let's get this tape off. Is this on there? Oh, it's still on there. I was hoping that this had a slight. Well, so there are some Nika does this where the casing is reusable, but this doesn't look like that. This looks like it's just something that they did, but we can easily get under the card without having to destroy too much. Let me get under there. So I don't like destroying boxes and stuff. It feels like such a waste. There is an art to packaging that I do love, and it doesn't seem to get appreciated as much. And I just cut that completely. All right, well, we're gonna do this. Go a little bit more. There we go. That way we can remove this, no problem. Okay, there we go. And give you a good look at the card fully. That came out of there. Let's see, locked in. No, don't go away because it's just in the plastic. Bam. Oh. Well, that happened. Okay. Sure. All right, so here is the figure in all of its glory. Let's start with the paint job. The paint job's quite nice. It's a very basic paint job, but the neon green pops insanely well on this. I don't know if you can tell from the lighting in here, but it almost looks like it glows, and it's not even that dark. I do love the green on this thing. So it's a matte black all the way through, silver for the beak, green visor, green wings. The tail is not painted whatsoever. So the buzzsaw parts of the Gatling gun are green. Kneecap, there you go. And the rest is a matte black. So it's basically 3 colors. A little shading right there. The back of the wings, and at least the back of the wings are painted. The center fin is not. But yes, a pretty good paint job, all things considered. I mean, this is a figure that's a little more dynamic to just kind of catch your eye. So he is 3 3/4 inch, which means he's about the size of an old school G.I. Joe. And articulation, as you saw when I pulled him out, like it's on a ball joint, but the rest of the figure looks to be, yeah, they're pretty much shoulders. So it's 5, looks like it's about 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 points of articulation. So the neck moves, the hips move, and the arms, or the shoulders, and then the tail. And that's about it. So you might be a little disappointed, but you got to remember, these are meant to be played with. These are kids' toys. And I think these are actually perfect as a child's toy. They're small enough that they're inexpensive, and they're meant to be, played with. These are perfect to be played with. And I can't fault it for what it is. Now, some of you might be going like, well, the knees, joints, it's a very inexpensive figure. I believe this ran me about $9 US, all said and done. I think it was over 1,000 yen, so maybe like $8, $9 after tax. And it's, for what it is, it's perfect. I love it. I actually do love this thing. The sculpt on it is quite beautiful. As you can tell, there is detailing. Let me see if I can get in there a little bit. So there is a lot of detailing in the actual sculpt. It's almost got like a xenomorph kind of look to it. If you know the Final Wars Gigan look, it had a very biomechanical look to it. It's all there. It's just the problem is the matte painting on it doesn't really, unless you're holding it up close. But again, these are meant for children. They're meant to be played with kids. And that's the whole idea. Like, you're buying a bunch of Godzilla figures for your kids, and these are to be played with. And look, yeah, you can run these over. They're a solid plastic. They're not going to break. You're not really going to lose parts. I know a couple of the other figures, which I'm hoping to get in a couple of weeks. They do have accessories, and that is part of this line, but we'll go into that on another day. This, though, is just awesome for the fact that this is a wild concept, and by the lore that they have established on the little short animations that they have been doing to promote this line, this is a completely separate Gigan. This isn't like an upgraded version from Final Wars. This is a different Gigan altogether. He's got the Gatling guns, 4 arms, which are very cool. This will zoom in. There we go. So the Gatling guns got quite a bit of detail. Let me get my thumb out of there so it'll focus. They don't do anything. They're just there for look. They're there for aesthetic. But I love the idea of Gigan just unloading rounds like heavy arms from Gundam Wing. So, what do I think overall? I like it as a figure. I am very curious about the rest of this line. This is a line, much like the Playmates figures. These are meant for children. These are meant to get kids deeper into Godzilla. These are toys that are meant to be played with. You're playing with other, toys. Your little army men, your Transformers, stuff like that. That's what toys are meant to do. They're meant to be played with and really build up a child's imagination. That's the key thing. A lot of people are cynical about toys, but no, there's a purpose to them, especially when you're young. Like, they enthrall children. It makes you want to tell your own stories. It makes you act out things in your mind. And so anything that gets kids into Godzilla, I'm all for. As an adult collector, I love it because this is such a wild and crazy concept, and they're doing more kind of wild designs. At Godzilla Day, they did reveal that they got a Space Godzilla that's called Plasma Space Godzilla. I think I got a picture right here. You should be seeing right there. So it kind of looks like the concept art, which is something for years I've been going on about. Like, that's the stuff I want to see done as toys. And if we can get them in the 3 3/4 inch line, I'm all for it. The modest collectors, now, if you don't have room, I think this line is going to be great. It's akin to Super 7's, their reaction line. They're really not that much smaller, as you can see. So the reaction line is, they say they're 3 3/4 inch. They're a little bigger. This, though, is $15. In Japan, this is about $10, but there are factoring cost and everything that goes into it. And so, especially with the exchange rate right now. My hope is that Bandai, because they've been bringing over the action figure line, that they bring these over. These are perfect to be put onto store shelves, and they can keep the cost at around 10 to 12 bucks. If you really want to get your kid into something, they can have a whole bucket of these, and they don't take up that much room. If you're a modest collector on a budget, because you can order these off Amazon Japan. Like I said, they are available pretty much everywhere in Japan right now. They are very inexpensive. I think you can pay about 60 bucks and get the whole line. And I believe that new colorway set runs about like $34. So it's about the price of a normal size movie monster series figure. But these are very cool. They don't take up a lot of room. They are slightly bigger than Gashapons, but they have some posability to them. Like, you can really go nuts. Where the Gashis, you assemble them and then that's it. This is my only problem, though. Because they're on this ball joint. The other side doesn't seem to have that problem. It was just stuck in there. This just might be something I got opening this thing up. But overall, I'm quite excited for this Godziburst line. I am full in on what they're offering. So I'm hoping to get the first wave in a couple of weeks. They've already announced more figures are coming. There's a Biollante. There is a full Final Form Biollante. There's a Final Form Destroyer coming. There is a Showa Mechagodzilla. There's also the short film Burning Millennium Godzilla. It is on its way too. And if you're a completionist, it looks like they're going all in on this line. I mean, the fact that there's a Chakras and a Kamakras already tells me that they're like, everything is up for grabs. And this might be one of the few ways that we get a complete line of Toho monsters within a reasonable budget and with pretty good sculpts as well. So hopefully these come stateside. If not, look for your online retailers. I wouldn't put it past places like Big Bad Toy Store to start picking these up and maybe selling them in chub packs. But if you're an action figure aficionado and you love Godzilla, I gotta recommend these. These are absolutely fantastic for what they are. I eagerly await to see what else they have in store. Well, there you guys go. That is my review of Gattling Gigan from the Godziburst line. Remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like to download, well, you can stream us on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on the socials. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. It's right there. Go ahead and give us a follow. If you want to keep up to date in the world of giant monsters, that's the place to do it. And on that note, that will do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.